2 more days. It's National Nights Out. National Night
Yep.
Out. And and don't, everybody be there, be square. Going on. 25th District is doing theirs at La Follette Park. So
15 is always at Moore Park.
Moore Park.
And then 11th District is going to be at, and they just showed me this. So,
they got it.
11th will be 3502 West Roosevelt. That's right there.
3502.
Basically Central Park and Roosevelt. I mean, well, there's one block east of Central Park. But what is that?
I don't know. That's
3502 West Roosevelt.
That's like that's Homan, ain't it?
No, that's Central Park. Isn't that right by the police station on Central Park, or is that Homan?
No, that's east of Central Park. So that's just east of. That's one block east.
Is it?
Roosevelt. What is right there?
What? It's nothing there but nothing there but there's it's a supermarket there. And at McDonald's. It's between Homan and Kesey.
The whole Hammond Plaza, the plaza.
Yep, that's that plaza over there.
That's what it can be, but hey, we'll take that. They got a space for it. They're gonna do it in the 11th. 11 is a sketchy. I hate to say it, it's a sketchy district.
Oh man,
it's the get down in the 11th, man. That's all I can tell y'all. Yeah. True. I remember this one police officer. He was from New York. He was from the Bronx, and he actually got transferred over to 11th District. He asked me, he said, "Steve, what's 11th District like?" I said, "You from the Bronx, right? Just imagine how the Bronx is, was, and will be." I said, "You got generations of what it was to get down going on in 11, because it's been going on since the 50s, And it is what it is, but he understood where I was going with it. And now he knows, because he over there. He over there in it. But as long as everybody knows, be a part of the National Night Out. And participate, all. Participate. It's been going. How many years have been doing National Night Out? I go back, since the beginning of the millennium. Over 20. They've probably been doing longer than that, right?
Yeah, National Night Out been going for a minute.
Yeah. Well, like I said, everybody participate, come out. They're gonna have food. They're gonna have fun for the kids, and it's an opportunity to see and meet your people that are working in your community in the police department. I can't get on my thing or nothing. I keep going back and forth because I want to get on. Let me try this one more time. But waiting on Arnold. He should be here, hopefully. Oh, the other thing I want to talk to people about is anybody in Austin, because we're doing this program of all of Austin. It's called Rebuild Together. And I know it is over there. They're actually doing rehabbing people's properties, We need to take advantage of this, y'all. I got applications. One thing I ain't gonna do like I did last time, I ain't gonna be running all over picking them up, just giving them to them and picking them up. So you get them, you gotta meet me where I'm at and get them. They gotta be in by the 15th. And anybody that's got property that needs some help in Austin, you need to be getting with me so I can get these applications out to you. Deadline is August 15th. And I got the inside and inroads to the people that work with them. They brought them over to me. I know the young lady. We sat on a team together, and she said, "Steve, I'm gonna give you these, and if you need more, let me know. We're doing all of Austin this time. We're not just doing parts." So I'm like, "Hey, let's do that. Let's do that." Last time they did, Channel 7 was out. They did about 3 properties on the 1400 block of Mayfield. They did 2 on the 1400 block of Mason, and I'm not sure where the others were. But nevertheless, let's get this in and get it done. The next thing I wanted to talk about, which should have been done, started, the mayor came out, and I think I talked about this, and did a press conference 3 weeks ago regarding the flood from last year, the unprecedented flood, or what we want to call weather conditions that happened on July, was it 2nd last year? July 2nd.
Yeah.
And the follow-up was, as we know, the mayor came out and said that they are giving to the west side, that includes all the west side of Chicago, $5 million. And they're only giving 200 people $25,000 each to get their properties up to snuff. However, that can help. And I'm one of the groups that will be making sure people get that. So I'm just waiting for the powers that be to give me the, give me the green light so I can get people on, get people on the list and make sure that they get taken care of. That's all. What else is going on? Oh man, let's dive into this right now. The DNC starts on the 17th, right?
20 something. 19. Yeah, it might be the 19th.
19th to the 20 something.
21st. It's only 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 19, 20 to 20. Okay, so that's coming down the pipe. So I got called to the 15th District Police Department along with Pastor Jody, Bradley Johnson from Bill, my man Stacy Pegas from the city that deals with the production companies or the manufacturing companies as an what do you call it? Person in the middle. What do you call a person in the middle? That's making sure that they get workers and that the company gets, the company gets workers and the workers get a job, in collaboration with the alderman and what have you. But he was there. Marshawn, what's my man Marshawn name? You know Marshawn? Felton. He was there, and that was it. So they had, and then my man from Westside Health Authority. What's the minister guy name?
Green.
What's his name?
Oh, you're talking about Coleman?
Yeah, Coleman. So he was there. Mm-hmm. So they had a whole sector, all blocked, a map from Division to Roosevelt and from Austin to Cicero. Mm-hmm. Then they had little pins, little push pins on there. This represents your color. This is the color of your organization. This, that, and all. Mm-hmm. Just everybody had red pretty much, because other than Bill, Jody red, I'm red. Westside Health Authority red anyway. Or orange. They had orange. So anyway, commander said this. Now y'all get a hold of this. The commander said it ain't up to the police to protect the people. I'm gonna say that again. It's not up to the police to protect the people wholeheartedly. We have a responsibility to our own self-protection also. And in other words, especially when it pertains to the DNC. Yeah, when it comes to the DNC, because he said it's going to be a very hectic time. And he's saying that one, we have to deal with the Palestinian issue that's still on the horizon, that's still going on with the riots and protests, and the war, and it could be terrorists. He said, I doubt if they come to the west side, but we still got to be on point with that. He said, we're also dealing with the Ukraine and Russian situation, which, they have terrorists and interlopers with that. Then he brought up, the migrants, which, the Venezuelans, we got to deal with them.
They got a gang. They gang here.
Yeah.
Aqua that Trini.
What? The water, who?
I can't think of the first name. They're Trini. They have their gang is there.
The water, aqua means water, right?
Let me see. I'll tell you what it is.
That's interesting. The other thing is
Tren de Aragua. Aragua.
What does it mean?
That's it. What?
But nevertheless, we got the Venezuelans, we got the Ukrainians, we got the Palestinians, we got the Republicans. What else? Who else we got throwing in?
Aragua train. Yeah, it's the largest criminal organization in Venezuela. They have 5,000 members, and they've already been found to be in Chicago.
They're infiltrated already,
Yeah.
to say the least, right?
Oh yeah.
So
you gotta worry about that too.
So yeah, we throw them in, and then he said, let's just look at our homegrown terrorists, the brothers that like to loot. But he said, guess what? A lot of those people that are looting are cells that come from other states. They are organized looting cells.
Yeah.
And he said, this is what it was said. He said that he wants all of the businesses in his district to protect themselves by packing up all of their goods, getting some semi-trucks or some U-Haul trucks or whatever kind of trucks you got to get. Pack up your goods and take them out of the city and put them in some well-secured storage units until this all died down. And he said, 2 of the stores that need to do it will be Mario's Meat on Madison, and the other store that needs to do it needs to be Leamington. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. I said, Mario Meat is 30 yards from this door. Leamington is 1-2 blocks from this door.
That's real shit though.
So people are stealing and breaking into stores at arm's length from the police station. He said, man, it's going on. It happened before. I said, wait a minute. You seriously think we seriously got to protect ourselves? If they don't care, if you can look down the street, look down the alley and see them from the police station's alley or front door, and they're doing it, breaking in, looting. That tells you a lot. We all we got. What they said, who is that? We all we got. Who said that? I forgot who said that. We all we got on one of the movies anyway. But put that into perspective, y'all. Put it into perspective.
Yeah. Before our district council meeting, which is Wednesday, we're gonna do it right here on Chicago Avenue. In Mayfield, we're doing it outdoors. So we're gonna have one of the ambassadors, Shirley Fields, is gonna come and talk a little bit about what that's going to be like as an ambassador for the DNC, and then we're gonna have the police department to come out and try to inform folks on what to expect for that as well. So hopefully they mention this stuff about bringing in the organization.
Right, because this is what they want from the organization. They want the organizations to become they want us to become policemen, in other words, but we ain't got to do what police really what they're doing. They want us to put the word out and let people know. You're gonna have to self-protect in so many words. We have to self-protect. And what they mean by self-protecting is what I just said. If you own a business, don't count on the police totally to protect you. Start doing stuff on the front end. Be proactive. I know the liquor store down the street on Division, what is it called, Sunset, he'll go and rent a big semi-truck and park it right in front of his door on the sidewalk. You got to go through a semi-truck. And then they post up on the roof, like, back in the Rodney King days in South Central, they post up on the roof with guns and everything. So I'm like, it's a bit much, but they're doing these types of things in our community just to prevent the looting. He said, he meaning the commander, Commander Morris, said that he doesn't really anticipate a lot of looting in our areas other than the targeted stores, liquor stores, and the little strip mall places. But they're going to try to put their best foot forward to prevent that by having the manpower. But they want community to do their job. And he literally said, tell your people to not do it. Put the word out and tell your people don't do that. And if you see something, say something. We already know that part of the deal. See something, say something. But he wants us all to be deputized. I guess in so many words, he wants us deputized. Hey, I guess whatever it takes. You've been deputized.
Steve, in a way, I kind of agree with that because police is only reactionary. That's after everything has happened. And it's up to us as individuals to protect ourselves. And I think I kind of like agree with that, because you can't tell on the policeman to take care of your property. And
I
it's
agree
been
with that
shown
too.
in the past.
I agree with that too, but my challenge is, how is it that it's okay to say that now because of the DNC and they stretched, when it really comes down to investing in community policing itself? If the DNC wasn't here, would that language ever even be used?
That's a fact. Jermaine said this should be a town hall meeting. She ain't lying. Well, again,
family.
This Wednesday. Hold on, real quick. Wednesday, we're gonna do our district council meeting, 5:30. We're gonna be right at 5900 West Chicago Avenue. We're doing it outside. We're gonna barbecue and all that good stuff for y'all that need to come on and eat. But yeah, spread the word. Let folks know we will have the 15th come out, as well as our ambassador for the West Side, one of them, and they'll talk a little bit about what that is going to look like. Hopefully, they discuss what these strategies are supposed to be. So we are doing it Wednesday, 5:30. We'll be right at 5900 West Chicago Avenue. Yeah, go ahead, Mosaic.
I mean, this is basically letting you know. See, and so it's funny how the DNC, y'all group of people, is coming here and telling you, hey, we can't help you. We can't help you. It's really a slap in the face. And if you're a smart Black person, and there's not a lot of us, me and Dre, we're a couple of them. Might be the only ones, but that should let you know that they don't care about you. They talking about self-police. Think about it. If somebody trying to break into your property, Steve, it's only a few ways you can really shoot them and actually get away with it. You know what I'm saying? And so you could be self-policing and doing all of the precautions and still get locked up. So again, it's really about, now y'all know Republicans, they love the police. They hire more police. So I'm just saying, y'all, just think about that. The DNC is coming here. Your people, Kamala Harris, the ultra Black woman, is coming here. Y'all slave owner, Joe Biden is coming here, and they can't even help y'all. Vote right this time. Stop playing.
Are you saying Trump family wasn't slave owners? Because they had more slaves than a little bit.
But guess what?
Okay.
Your people's the one sold them to them. Your people's the one sold them to them.
Well, I think you my people too, because you're the same skin color I am. So stop throwing stones and starting division, because there should be no division.
You know what's funny? He said Kamala Harris. He didn't say Vice President Kamala Harris and the next president. He didn't say that, but he said, he made sure he said President Trump.
Got to. I don't believe in women being president. I just don't believe in that.
Well, you don't believe in a lot of things, but it doesn't mean it's not so, and it's not gonna happen.
I doubt it. There's a lot of smart Black people who gonna make sure that don't happen.
Well, a lot of dumb ones too.
You know what Harriet Tubman did with all those smart Black people when she said, "We about to take you to freedom," and them smart Black people said, "No, how about we just get here with freedom?" She put one in right there on that spot. And they stayed smart in a hole 6 feet under. In so many words. But hey, I'm just saying, look, we need to be proactive. And you brought up a good point, Mosaic. As far as me protecting mine, I ain't got nothing for nobody to take. They just be taking empty ass. They come to me. I ain't gonna defend none of that.
Yeah, but you know what? The Negroes in the area, they don't know that. That's the crazy part. They don't know you ain't got nothing to take. But when looking at you, they like, oh, he got everything, because they have nothing.
Let me tell you something. One thing people do know about Northwest Austin County, they know what we about, they know what we will do, and they know what we don't have and have. I remember we moved on some people back in the 90s. It was something we did. We had action. And all the gang members, they started, man, we gonna get NAC, we gonna get them. They started doing the recon on us. They saw all these people coming in and out of the building constantly all day. They said, man, there's too many of them. What they didn't realize is those people were coming here for services, and they thought that was all of the staff and everybody else. And they backed off, word on the street. That's what it was. But, people know who we are. They know what we do, and they know what we got and don't have. Ain't no big, man, I just wish that people didn't try to take advantage of people. That's all I was saying. Why do we take others? Why? It doesn't have to be. It just doesn't have to be. Don't you know how, what's wrong with asking? If you ask, you might receive.
Agreed.
Where'd she go? Be on now. It's Jacobs. But nevertheless, only the best must come.
No, Jacob.
Where'd she go?
Yeah,
I see her. I was wondering what was going on with her. She was trying to get the police there on her block.
Yeah. Well, that's next move. Let me tell you about that. So I was able to talk with Sergeant Brown about her situation, and he told me, he said, Steve, at first he said, man, we overwhelmed. And I said, but the crime is still going on, and the criminal is still at large, and everybody knows what he looks like because there is a picture of this guy doing this. And many people have reported the same incident. So he said, at the end of our meeting about the DNC, he came and said, Steve, you know what? We will meet this week, you and I, to discuss the strategy of what we're going to do with that block. So I'm like, okay, let's do that. Let's make it happen. Let's get it going. Let's create whatever it needs to be. So I'm waiting to hear from him tomorrow. If not, I have to call him tomorrow to remind him that we need to get moving because this is going on 2 weeks now. And man, if there was any other community, I'm almost 100% sure they would have had the person captured by now.
I feel bad for saying this, but we kind of on our own after the DNC.
So that's what's interesting to me. We could be on our own now. So if this is just my perception. This is just my perception. My perspective is that it could have been invested in better, prepared for better. Money could have been poured into all of the neighborhoods surrounding the DNC and not just the one in the near west side to support neighborhoods and areas and communities being prepared for something like this, being prepared to really support robust community policing. But that's not been the standard. And then now all of a sudden they're saying, hey, y'all on your own, y'all got to police yourselves, which we've been asking to do anyway, but we've been also looking for resources for that.
Let me ask you, how would you have suffice the issue of being shortage of manpower all over America? Will we bring in people from other countries to police us?
No. People here know what's needed in their areas, in their community. I don't believe in me personally. I don't believe in that. I think people know what they need, but are the resources available? Is the information available? Is the infrastructure available for people to actually have robust community connections and build each other and build their own communities? Those things are lacking traditionally in our community.
What I'm saying, when it comes to having enough police, all of America, they're short. It's not just Chicago.
I'm not even really concerned about having enough police. I'm not concerned about that because I do believe people know how to police themselves and police their communities if provided the right information and resources. Yes, we do need, I agree. Something happened, you want to be able to call 911. Absolutely. But that should be across the board. And if that's not across the board, then how do you now try to supplement it and say y'all police yourselves? I'm just trying to
Well,
figure it out. It's not making sense because my tax dollars are going towards increase. The police budget has been increased 3 times in the last 4 times, probably even more than that in the last 5 to 7 years. And then you say, oh, we don't have enough. Okay, I
well,
understand that. But then how do you divert some of those resources and fundings to community so there can be a police partnership, police and community partnership that actually works, especially in times like this?
I'll give you an example. When we talked about telling the store owners, storekeepers to pack up all their goods and take it to a storage unit far away from the city, one guy said to me, how about we just don't rent the U-Hauls or nothing those days, because the organized crime cells are going to come and rent the U-Hauls. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you could say that. You go to all these business owners and say, guess what? We'll give you a nominal fee not to rent your U-Haul, not to do your, whatever. So that could possibly be a situation. But somebody got to come up with the money, like you said. They got the money, spend that money
Right.
on non-policing, issues like that. Give all the U-Haul companies in America, in Chicago, give them their money for the day, and then that way the sales won't come in and get those trucks. But then you'll get the sales and go to Indiana and get the truck. You'll get the sales that drive from New York with the truck. So, really, what do you really, really do? We could sit here and talk about it all day. You got something, Ms. Jacobs? Hello.
Were you talking to me?
No, I was saying
No.
Jacob.
Oh, okay.
But if you got something, Keon.
No, I'm just listening.
Mr. Jacobs, you got anything? Because you keep coming in. I don't think she's working. You said something, Ms. Jacobs? Hello, Edie Jacobs. All right, I got to mute you because you making a lot of noise over there with that. But nevertheless, yeah, again, nobody wants to be a policeman. It's a thankless job. Look at the guy that just shot the lady in the face and killed her. What do we do? What do we say? What?
I do have a question. Are immigrants allowed to apply for those positions, and are they being placed in those positions like police officers, firefighters, those type of first responders?
No, you have to be a citizen to get them. But at the end of the day, I was told 5 years ago, you can apply for a police position as a policeman, but when it comes to if you finish the academy, before you finish the academy, you have to have your citizenship. Ms. Jacobs, we cannot hear you. You're making a lot of noise. Are you trying to say something? Yes or no? All right, that must mean a no. She ain't shaking her head. You make a lot of noise. Keep jumping off. But again,
all right. I know it's fast approaching, the DNC. But what is also fast approaching is voting. We got 2 candidates, regardless of how they got there. We have 2. What have you all heard that makes you confident in either candidate?
What about her?
Yeah.
I heard that she's younger than he is. I know that for a fact.
Right. But what I want to know is more or less like, and I think this is how we always end up in the positions we're in, because what are they selling us right now? What do we believe we're getting by select? And it doesn't matter at this point. I'm only bringing it up for conversation's sake because one of the two will be elected, but I don't know what their plans are for the country. I haven't really followed closely enough, and obviously we knew what or at least thought we knew what Joe Biden was wanting to bring to the country, but obviously he has now stepped down, and we have Kamala. So, what are we? Have anybody watched any of the rallies that they've had or plans? And I know that there's a plan for a debate coming up, so I will definitely be tuned into that to hear about the more important topics. But right now, what I'm hearing and seeing much of is the conversation around Kamala's blackness, and it seems as though there isn't concern as to what the platform is so much. So this woman who has a Jamaican father is black, so just vote for her, and that's it. And so I'm just like,
you know, one thing that stands out about me is she's for women, that we should be in charge of our own bodies and not let some white guy who's past childbearing age determine what we can do with our own body. They need to stay out of our bedrooms and stay in their own. And that's one thing I do know she's for. Now,
women.
So that's what I was gonna say. The only thing I'm really hearing a lot about is race and gender. Even in commercials, is race and gender promoted a lot. I have not heard a agenda, a policy agenda, a people's agenda, a black agenda. I haven't heard anything concerning those things, but you know.
I just heard, I never knew until now that a man can go beyond a childbearing years. When the last time a man goes beyond childbearing?
Yeah, real. Men can have kids till we die. That pistol they shoot till we die.
Yeah.
But then let's talk about this part. You just made a point, Dr. O, that all you're hearing is gender and race. Which side is talking gender and race? Because I haven't heard gender and race from the Democratic side.
That's all Democrats.
That's all the Democrats are talking about right now is gender and race, and it's not necessarily.
Tell me what they're saying, because maybe I'm
not necessarily a gender and race platform or policy platform or political platform. It's just, for me, it's more propaganda. It's more advertising from the gender and race perspective. I haven't heard a position except for what Ms. Jacobs was saying about the rights for your body. That's the position that I've heard. So I would love to hear and know more about what their stands on policies, issues that's going to affect our everyday lives. I would love to hear that, but I'm not hearing a lot about that. And that's from both sides. That's from both sides. But Trump, I'm not going to say no, sir. Trump will tell you, you might not like what he's saying, but he going to tell you what he going to do, like he did before. He didn't lie about what he said he was going to do. Now, he might have lied about a whole lot of other things, but he made his position clear on certain issues. I ain't going to say all of them. And I'm not necessarily a Trump fan or a Kamala fan. I'm just saying we're not hearing enough about the platforms and what these candidates are going to do for the American people.
Exactly. But I'm still stuck on what did Trump ever say that he was going to do that was positive towards the impact of my life.
I ain't say it was positive. He ain't never said nothing positive. Well, I ain't gonna say he ain't never said nothing positive, but I didn't say it was positive. I said he will tell you what he gonna do. It may not be good. It may be bad, but it may not be bad. It may be good. Whatever he say, as far as what he's going to do, you know, he did say some things when he ran the first time, and he stayed true to what he said. Now he might have lied about a whole lot of other stuff, but
he definitely held tight on doubling down on the Central Park 5 when he said them niggas still need to die. Oh man, even though they were exonerated. So yeah, he did follow It's true. But I don't get nothing positive about anything that ain't got nothing positive. I kick this.
Right.
Somebody say
Right.
my ass, I'll be like, yeah,
Right.
all right, I'm gone.
Well,
Whatever.
one thing Trump talks about is the border, in which the border is an issue. People coming in and out. And being that I'm in Texas, that you guys already know, that is an issue for us because we see more than just Hispanics coming across that border.
Yep.
But as far as the Democrats, I'm not hearing anything, and it's just like I think it was Dr. Orr, someone said that there's just been a lot of propaganda. I've heard more code switching with Kamala.
Yeah.
I've heard her speak more Ebonics within the last month.
Oh my
And
God.
it is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
That's unbelievable.
I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm really an independent or a moderate. I can go either way, depending on the person's politics. But the way that she comes across, it gives me concern.
Yeah.
About her wanting to appeal so much to the Black vote. Evidently, our vote really does make a difference. But I have heard more lately here in the last few weeks, a lot of Black people are not voting for her. Now, whether they're voting for Trump or the third person on the ticket, I don't know. But
I've heard
I
that
just
too,
know
though.
it's not a lot of people. It's not as many people. So she is trying to get that vote by appealing to more Black people. And I sent this to a lot of people where she was saying that she gets orders to make her collard greens, and she makes so much collard greens that she puts all of her collard greens, she washes them all in a bathtub. Yeah, right. And who's eating them?
Right, because we don't do that.
Exactly.
But again, though, but again, are we nitpicking Black people? People in Texas?
No, but
No,
I
she's not
don't think so.
nitpicking. She's not nit. Well, I don't know if she's nitpicking or not. She's trying to appeal to us. But it's a lot of Black people that are falling for it.
No, I'm saying that's
we need to stop. We need to. And she had Meg Thee Stallion there twerking. What does Meg Thee Stallion twerking have to do anything with politics? Just tell me what are you standing on? That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
Because right now we're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. But see, my challenge is this is a wake-up call for us. If the presidential election is that important and the Black vote is that important for a presidential election that they would shift their whole strategy to appeal to Black people, that show you our value and our worth and what we mean. This is an opportunity for us to get an agenda on the table, to be heard as a united people. This is a great opportunity for us to do that. It's also an opportunity for us to hold people accountable because they're coming for our vote, period. Now, we might get excited for the entertainment and the propaganda going on, but if we don't look at this from a critical standpoint, baby, we might get somebody in who, regardless, her or him, we might get somebody in that really won't serve us because we're not pushing for policy or an agenda for us, our communities, a resource for our communities. How can we be the least resourced people in communities and they need our vote in the presidential elections? And they're appealing specifically to us. How that is such an oxymoron, is such a disparity in that it is amazing and almost insulting. So what do we do with this? How do we shake ourselves and wonder twin this thing and get our stuff together and say, hey, you want our vote? We don't have a problem with voting if we're part of your agenda. But see, we'll vote because of the great commercials and the great entertainment, and we don't have an agenda on the table. What's on the table for us?
No, because we don't have a united front. Who speaks for black people? Tell me. Tell me one person.
Not
It ain't
Kamala.
Jesse Jackson. It ain't Jesse Jackson. It ain't none of these ministers.
It ain't Joe Biden either.
It ain't. Well, we know that. We know that, but I'm saying,
If you voted for him, you don't know that. If you voted for him, you don't know.
You know what? All of this conversation is mute to me because as long as I've been voting, I have never seen or heard a politician to put black people ahead of their agenda. No one has ever done it. I'm not looking forward to them doing it because I know they're not going to come out and say, oh, this black folk need this or that. They're not going to do that because, for one, they're on the idea that they're there for all the people, not just black, not just white, not just Trumps, but for all the people. Now, as far as specific agendas, I think that should be left up to our senators, our representatives, and our state officials to push that ahead. We should be on their behind to push our agendas and to work better for us.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but that's you're saying exactly what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
They've never ever pushed our agenda at all.
Right.
So now it's in the public eye that they need the black vote. So why don't we push a black agenda? I say, if she gonna do great things for black people, great. And I know they're the president for everybody. That's the line. That's they toe that line every election. But when it comes down to it, they look to our communities to pull them through, and that's okay too if you supporting us. I'm with what you're saying. You saying what I'm saying? I've never seen it either.
I agree.
No, I don't see it because I want to know what is our black agenda. Where's this 10 commandments of black agendas? I've been around on this earth for almost 60 years. Ain't nobody told me about this black agenda. Where is it? Who do I go to? Who's the person that's going to guide me? We can't even agree on here with Mosaic on here. So how we going to say
Yeah, but Steve, so let me tell you what our agenda. Steve, our agenda, honestly, I promise you, ain't nothing more important than reparations. Nothing in the world for black people in America. There's nothing more important that black people need to get behind than reparations. That and that talk is being garnered more and more and more and more. And I don't think Donald Trump would give it. As much as I rock with him, I don't think he'd give it. I rock with Donald Trump because he can make things like it was a few years ago. Life was better a few years ago than it is now. You feel me? Things were cheaper. The economy was better years ago. That's the only reason I like Trump. You feel me? And he say what is on his mind. Trump like a granddad. You feel me? Or uncle who say what. And we all got an uncle like Trump or a granddad like Trump. Let's just keep it 100. Granddad say all type of things. Granddad say, but that's the most important.
My granddad ain't out there screwing prostitutes. My granddad ain't out there cheating on his wife.
Trust me, your granddad done paid for it. Yes, you don't know that. Granddad done paid for it. Yeah, he did.
That don't care about his own kids. My granddad don't call black people niggers. Well,
yeah, he do. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But again, though, Steve, what Kamala ain't said. Again, I agree with what the ladies on. We got some smart women on here. Y'all cooking today. I like it. Y'all really cooking. Kamala is trying to placate to black women. She not placating to black men. And think about it. When they brought Trump to that the national journalists, black journalists, they didn't have no black man up there. They didn't have a black. You said what, Steve?
Your feelings hurt because that woman ain't placating to you. Really?
No, she was just being disrespectful and rude. You feel me? I would never invite you to my house, Steve, and be rude, no matter how much we disagree. They invited Trump over there, and they was rude to the man. And then this woman was acting like a typical inner city black woman with no common sense, just talking out the side of her neck, cutting them off. You don't do that to your guests.
Trump got exactly what he gives. Now you gonna sit up here and think Trump didn't disrespect and cut
How did he disrespect? How did he disrespect?
Trump got exactly what he deserved. Nothing.
Ma'am, how did he disrespect? Give me an example.
Every word he says is disrespectful.
But give me an example.
I can't get out. I have to think
But see, but that's what I'm saying. That's why a woman can't rule.
Well,
you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, listen here, man.
First of all, I do believe a woman can rule. Mosaic.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna respectfully disagree. But it takes, in order to be a leader, let's put gender aside. In order to be a leader, you have to be able to see both sides of the conversation. Whatever conversation is being had, you have to be able to see both sides of the conversation. Now, with both, well, first of all, Kamala, I've seen her talk. She just comes across like she's just trying to put something out, just trying to talk. But in order to be a leader, you have to see both sides of the conversation. So anybody can do that. But you have to be able to listen. Just like I said when I came in, I was just listening to everybody's opinion. You have to be able to listen and then come up with what you're going to say. That's something we're taught from, a child. But instead I'm just gonna be real honest. I'm not confident in either candidate. Yeah. But I'm less confident in Kamala. And it's not because she's a woman, because a woman can rule. It is because I just don't like what she has to say. And what she's doing is not appealing to me. It really comes across as like we're easy bait.
Yana, who's the third candidate? Who's the third candidate you spoke of?
Well, I think it's Kennedy still.
Oh, the dude with the worms, the guy with the worms in his head, in the brain.
The worms in his head. I don't know about that.
He's got the worm disease in his brain. He has about with some mental issues because he has worms in the brain. Now, this is a true fact. He actually had disease. I thought he had dropped out because of his illness.
I remember he got the worm from swimming and it crawled in his brain. I remember him saying that.
He must have swam in a lake somewhere. You can't get it.
I'm not saying that. I'm not just saying that because it sounds creepy, but I'm saying that because it's really a severe situation for him, and he made that clear also. But I don't know. Again, he ain't even on the radar because I had to ask the question because I thought he had dropped out completely. But let's go back to Kamala. So what I was saying earlier is why are we trying to figure out who's blacker than black? Because I thought black was what it is, So now it's like if she cook her greens and how she cook them, we like, wait a minute, that ain't how we cook greens. I don't do mine like that. I didn't used to eat turnip greens. So my wife turned me on to them and she mixed them with the collards. I'm like, oh, people do this. I'm from LA, so Alabama. You don't eat collards. I don't eat chitlins, believe it or not. Some people do. I'm not gonna nitpick on who's blacker than black. If you black, that's what you say you are, I'm rolling with it. If you in Texas and you black, hey, I'm rolling with it. I might say, nah, you know what they say. Others might say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, see? No, I ain't gotta be kinfolk. I ain't gotta be kinfolk. I'm rolling with the underdog. That's all I'm rolling with the underdog. And in this case, the underdog ain't no millionaire white man that don't give a shit about nobody.
I think a good point though that was brought up by Miss Houston is the more local elections. Though we always get into a every 4 years anyway.
Yeah.
Until we all this earth, we're gonna be having these
Yep.
raging debates every 4 years. It don't matter. It don't matter. Every single 4 years. But
it matters.
But we never have. No, it matters. But what matters more is the local elections. We keep talking about them in a federal level doing something for Black people, when technically their responsibility is for all of the people that they will be.
Yes.
But the people in our local government
Yep.
have the responsibility to make sure that the people in their community are doing better in their
That's
stead.
true. That's
So
true.
we never bring this type of energy to it, though. Never.
You know why?
Never bring this type of energy.
You talking about
Because
those elections with the senators, all the people, all of that stuff. The people down at the local level. We don't bring this. Yep.
I'm talking about all of them, from
Yep.
aldermen up.
And
I'm
all the
talking
way up. That's right.
commissioner, alderman, state rep, senator,
Yep. Yep.
congressperson. You know, we never bring this same type of energy.
District police,
The district council people. I mean, we knew. You know what I mean?
I like that.
But we already knew. But I've talked to somebody that wants to run for 15, and I've talked to somebody that want to run for 25. So there are people that are interested in this position now.
But what are they gonna do? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, the reason why I brought up we are new, because we are setting foundation right now. So the things that we're doing, we have to essentially build what this is supposed to look like, learn the processes and procedures, and then hand that off to whoever will be coming next, so that they don't have to start from ground zero like we did. But these are important.
That's right. That's right.
Want them. People want them. So and
No, I'm not saying that they're not important positions. I'm saying,
but they matter though. They matter as well. They
right,
matter.
and that's
They
what
matter.
I'm saying. If we gonna ask to put burden on anybody, we need to put them on all that are elected. I mean,
Yeah.
say I'm new to this.
Oh no, we supposed to.
You know, like Miss Jacobs said, you gotta be true to it. Forget the new to it.
Yes.
You gotta be true to it. Whatever you have to do and make. I heard, you know why I say that? Because out the gate, people were busting y'all chops, and I would hear it. Man, y'all gotta work for this $500 a month. I was like, did you just hear what you just said? Did you not hear? Is that not even enough resources for them to walk out to get a bus to go wherever they need to go to talk to whoever they need to talk to?
20 hours a week.
And I'm like, but people twisting arms on that. I thought that was the crazy thing. They twist arms on the person making $500 a month.
Oh no, they told me. I know. You ain't lying.
And then the people that's making 100-something thousand just got a raise at the city council.
Sure did. Say what you saying.
Raises back in 1998, they went from 40-something, 50-something thousand to 80-something thousand. They just doubled again.
Yes, they did.
Not doubled it, but at least 50, 25, 50% more. Whatever that is.
Yep.
And ain't nobody said nothing about that, because
that's right.
We still getting status quo from our life. We're still getting status quo.
That's what I'm saying. We need this same energy.
Well, the only reason I think we have this energy because those aldermen can't really affect our life. The presidents can affect our lives by saying, you know what? At this dispensation of time, we want every male at this age to join the military, and if you don't, we locking you up. Right. And you gonna go.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of agree. I agree with both perspectives. When our aldermen and the state senators, representatives, commissions, all of those people have power to impact how our community functions. But some kind of way we're not, as a people, as a collective, we don't put that pressure on them. We don't pull out all the stops and say, hey, how much money have you funneled to businesses? Have you funded to school? How have you supported the development of your people, your residents? You know, we don't have those conversations like this when it comes to those local elections. And I think part of it is that too, national elections get much more publicity. Local elections, get it? And maybe people are just in a fatigue state, catatonic state. I'm not sure, but I understand your point, Steve, and DeAndre's point.
Yeah, I think we have an election roughly about every 8 to 10 months. You know, there's always a rolling around. You got 2-year offices, 4-year offices, 6-year offices. So you generally have about every 10 months or so another election.
Right.
So there is fatigue. There is fatigue there. But in actuality, all you have to do is research 2 people. You know, if we're keeping it real, because all the late races generally come down to the top 2 people that you believe are the most likely to make something happen for you. So it's really just doing research on 2 people.
I hate to bust everybody's bubble here, but you're never gonna get this. But we live in a capitalistic society. Capitalism reigns first over everything that may matter in this world, in our country. So if you believe that the president's really gonna make that big a deal, capitalism's still gonna do what it's gonna do. They're gonna put that first and foremost. If you think the second candidate is gonna be capitalism before anything, that's just the reality. There are lives that they don't mind being lost because of capitalism. And if you think I'm lying, look at the system as it is. You can vote, but it's still up to the electoral college. Right?
True.
You can,
True.
you know, so and I knew this as a child. So I already knew the thing was set up the way it was supposed to be set up. You just going through the motions. Right. So when people start saying, you know, this one and that one and that one and this one, it's like, you know what?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. You just made the point that even more valid how we supposed to vote locally. No. Because it don't matter. Our vote don't matter because the electoral college.
Lord help us, y'all.
We've seen 2 elections. One was Al Gore. The other was Hillary Clinton. They had popular votes and voted by the people, but then the electoral college chose somebody else. If we have the same thing, then what? If we have the same thing, everybody chooses Kamala, but then electoral college chooses Donald Trump, then what are we gonna do?
Ooh.
Like,
why did we waste our because we had 2
examples. They're gonna go with what the system says. That's how it's gonna go.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. More reason and validity why we should not focus so much on the federal election and focus on the local election.
But look at the local election. Look who we got for alderman. We got an alderman in the 29th ward that sits there and does nothing. Right. Nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing more. He already said he ain't gonna do nothing more. Right. And you ain't gonna get him. You know what he's gonna fall back on? Well, that's my hands tied, and this is how we do it down at city council. This is what they hear, but he ain't gonna try to do nothing to help nobody. I sat in the room with that guy when he won the second time, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, Chris, you know, people kind of disappointed in you after you actually won, but a lot of people been coming to me saying they ain't appreciating what you're doing." He goes, "Well, man, Steve, I got my second. Now I get 2 pensions, one from the police department, and I get one from being an alderman." And I'm like, "You ain't too smart. First of all, they're both city pensions, so it's gonna be one. And then secondly, why are you putting your putting your payroll before your constituents? Because he don't give a shit. Right. You don't care. And local, it could be local, it could be whatever. These people already got it rigged how they gonna do what they gonna do. You ain't gonna twist their arms. You're gonna pull their votes from them. They don't care. It's just gonna be what it really is. I'm telling you.
Now you're moving into a territory.
Name a local politician that's helped somebody.
Now you're moving into a territory which explains why people don't go out and vote. Then we'd be like,
no, that wouldn't be me. I'm still gonna vote.
Right, I know you're gonna vote, but I'm just you're explaining the rationale behind people that don't go out and vote. They don't feel like there's a reason because it's already a selected person that's going to receive enough votes to win regardless of who they believe is the best person.
But you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I just had a conversation with my white neighbor behind me, Greek guy, last night. And he said, "Steve, I'm apolitical because I don't have a belief in this system. It's all this, that, and other." I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Let me vote for you. You step your ass aside and let me just vote for you. I'm good with that. On the same note, he said, They're stealing our liberties. They're taking our guns away. They this and that. The police is gonna take over this and that. I'm like, let me tell you something, bro. In black communities, we already knew that. What's different? Did you ever heard a move? They dropped a bomb on the whole neighborhood because people were black. Have you ever heard of Jim? That shit was going on forever. Then he's like, no, I should be able to walk down the street with an AR on my arm and this and that, and that should be my right. They're making us pay for Ford cars. They're making us pay for CCW. We shouldn't have to pay for those things. Those are liberties that are afforded. I'm looking at this dude like, man, if you black, you walk your ass down the street with an AR.
Yeah, I like him.
You gonna have a liberty be in a goddamn hole. That's what you gonna be, because they're gonna shoot you dead. But he, you know, he got the privilege. That's how he thinks. So I said to him, I said, you know, there may be a possibility that we need to update the Constitution. Oh no, the founding fathers knew what they were doing when they founded this, and they thought he said they thought ahead. I said, so they thought ahead to think that drones will be firing missiles at people, and that will be okay. I said, well, let me say this. Since you want to carry your AR and your AK and your Uzi and your H&K and your Galvo, what's the other?
I want to carry those too, man. I got those at the crib.
I
want to walk around.
But think about it. I told him,
I walk around with a big strap.
Wait. This is the same conversation. 10 o'clock at night. How about that water in my grass? He's walking his dog. I said, well, I want to carry RPG. For those that don't know, that stands for rocket propelled grenade. And it has a trigger. It has a barrel. It has a strap. People walk around in the Middle East with RPGs all day strapped on their arm. You know what he said to me? You know what he said to me? Oh man, you can't do that. You might blow up some people. I said, well, that's the point. You got an AR, I want to blow your asses up. If I ain't gonna let you shoot me with an AR, if I can shoot an RPG and get rid of you. I said, so what, is it okay that people walk around with a street sweeper? He said, what's that? I said, it's a shotgun with multiple barrels that holds about 100 rounds of shotgun shells. He goes, well, yeah, that's okay. They can shoot slugs and then they can shoot buckshot. I say, that's the same thing as blowing up. If you shoot a person with a street sweeper, or you shoot a buckshot.
That's a very bad analogy.
No, you know what he said? He told me it's like a SAM, a surface to air missile. You know, I said, well, I want one of those on my arm too. I might have to shoot a damn drone out the sky. So I almost said the F word. You want to mess with my liberties, and I can't carry an RPG or a SAM if I can buy one, or if I can't carry a rocket propelled grenade. But you want to carry an AR and an AK and an Uzi and all these things. But that's your liberties okay, but I can't have those liberties. Man, quit crying. Quit crying. We kind of fist bumped at the end because I broke this down to him too. I said the Constitution probably needs to be updated because the things that are in there were reflective of what was going on 300-400 years ago. 200. He said, no, man, I said, well, let me break this down to you. Less than 150 years ago, 160 approximately, there was slavery. So the Constitution was upgraded to abolish slavery. So you telling me that shouldn't happen either? He looked at me, he's like, well, the slavery was never in the Constitution. No. They allowed it. The government allowed it. So don't tell me it wasn't in the Constitution. I said, but let me ask you this. I'm sure you know somebody or have known somebody that was at least 100 years old, because I know a bunch of people that's 100 years old now and that were 100 years old 15, 20 years ago. And they were very close to slavery. So you're going to tell me the life they lived, that was just supposed to be, their liberties didn't make any, you're talking about liberties to me, man, over a goddamn gun and how many guns. He fessed up and said, you know what, man, I'm just telling you, Steve, Trump signed the red flag law. Look it up on your phone. I pulled it up on my phone. The red flag law says that anybody that's suspected of anything, your neighbor or somebody could turn them in and the police would go over and arrest and take whatever they got or whatever. The police would come after him. So he's upset about that. And I'm saying, that shit happens in the black neighborhood every day. So what are you talking about, dude? I'm supposed to feel some kind of way because you feel your rights are being violated? You're going to be a terrorist. Our rights are violated all the time. So he went on and said, man, I'm just saying, I got a friend up in somewhere up in Wisconsin. He got 150 acres You know what I thought about when you talking. And he said, man, we shoot all types of guns. He got about 1,100 guns, and we shoot 50 caliber machine guns, Tommy guns, and all this. I said, okay, you have a little fun. But I'm afraid that they're gonna come and take, somebody's gonna walk across his property and say, that he's over there doing this, and the cops are gonna come and take his guns. That's what you up all night thinking about, bro. That's what you up all night.
Nobody don't want the government to come seize their guns because they can't protect themselves against your government. We don't want tyranny. I don't want to take my guns either.
But you can't even walk down the division with a gun without the cops shaking you down, giving you the business, may even shoot you and ask questions later.
Hey, well, depending on where you at. Let's say if I was in Texas, the open carry state, you can walk with the strap. They can't do it here.
I guarantee if you black, you ain't gonna be walking in Texas with the strap.
Oh, no,
they gonna put the scrutiny on you too.
No, they got.
Wait, hold on.
No, they got.
Can I jump in real quick? Okay, because this is I don't know, Steve. I'm not sure. I don't know what time period you talking about, brother. I was just in Vegas. It was black men walking around with guns on their hip. Bro, this is not the 1920s and 1910s where, master, I can't have a gun. You can have a gun. I've been pulled over. Hold on. I've been pulled over with a firearm. Police just as nice as they want to be. And they asked me what type of gun, and I had over the amount of capacity that you're supposed to have in Illinois, which is 10 rounds. Ain't nobody going around shooting black people because you got a gun on you. That's ridiculous. And then you can't walk around division. Like, I'm from the west side of Chicago. I'm really from that. That's not happening what you saying. That's all imaginary. Black people be scared of white people stuff. And you know what? A lot of older black men are scared of white men. I noticed that because my father talked like you, and he always saying the white man this, the white man that, and it's like, y'all, why is the white man such a boogeyman to y'all?
Tell you something, because he created the boogeyman, number one. But if you don't believe that you could be shot, and let's talk about today. Look at the lady shot in the face. For what?
Right.
Shot in the for?
Okay, you're right. Again,
she didn't have a gun. She got
right. You're right. But you know what? Let me say this.
You're
right. But you know what? What? And I always say this on this show. Black people got to stop doing stupid shit. Now, don't get me wrong. Semantics. I don't know. She had I can't tell from the video footage if she put the pot down. She had it. But when you got white people, and I always tell, because I got a white brother, and I always say, white people don't have to know black problems. White people don't have to care about black problems or know what black people went through. They don't have to care about that. They grew up in white communities around white people. So she shouldn't have said, well, I rebuke you in the name of, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
What's wrong with that?
What you mean what's wrong with that? You have police officers in your house and you sitting up there talking shit. Oh, I'll rebuke you in the name. Play stupid
But
games.
they in your house though.
Sister, stop it.
They in your house though.
Sister, stop.
Who's invoking Jesus' name talking shit? I don't understand that.
That man, listen. When have you ever been pulled over? You say, I rebuke you in the name of the Lord. I'm just saying, black people got to stop doing dumb shit. Like, when the police is apprehending you, just give them your stuff. All that little slime, weirdo shit, stop doing that.
But, she was also going through some psychological issues.
I don't care what she was going through. She should have just kept her goddamn mouth shut.
Well, maybe
she knew what she was doing. She opened them legs and had them kids. She wasn't going through nothing psychological.
That's not okay.
Stop it.
That's not okay. Stop it.
You got more kids.
Stop. That's not okay. That's not okay.
I'm gonna tell the truth.
That's not okay. And that's shaming. So you're trying to shame women with men supposed to lead women. Men can't. How you gonna shame women? How are you gonna shame women when black men are supposed to lead women. Now you're
Okay.
saying, now hold on though. I let you talk. It's
You didn't.
that
But go
woman,
ahead.
that woman did nothing to deserve that. And
She
to
didn't.
justify that is not okay.
I'm not
And
justifying the system.
then to degrade her for having kids. It took a man and a woman. Where was the man of that house?
She
So
probably ran them off.
let's not do that. But if he got ran off, he didn't run off from her coochie.
Oh, yes, he did.
Right.
He hit it and
He
quit
didn't
it.
run off. He didn't run off from the
Buckle up.
bed. He didn't run off from making those kids. He didn't run off from doing what he wanted to do until she carried the baby. See, the difference is, let's be very clear. The difference is that men can't carry no babies. You can make 30 of them. You can make babies until you go to the grave, but you don't have to carry them. So you don't carry the burden. You don't carry the responsibility. You don't carry any of that. And it's not outwardly shown unless a woman say you made that baby.
But
It's
you
not
know what?
it's not an outward thing. So a man, you don't, if we're going to be technical and tell the truth, most men don't, if they out here doing their thing, they don't know how many babies they got. So my thing is, you can't shame one without shaming the other, because the man is supposed to be the head. And that's what you always preaching. But where's our head? Where has our head been for the last 400 years? So I'm waiting to see one. And
Right
I've
now,
seen a lot of great men. There's a lot of great men out here, and there's a lot of great women out here. But I'm gonna tell you this: our people are in the condition it is because you can't shame one without the other. And what happens is we want to contend and put down one without putting down the other. You can't put down women without putting down your mother. You can't put down women without putting down your sister. You can't put down women without putting down your daughter. We can't put down men without putting down our fathers and our brothers and our uncles. So I do not, what do they call it? I do not subscribe to that type of conversation, because if we're really trying to build each other, we need to do a better job with that. And that starts with each of us on this call.
where was the black man that when Kamala was up there getting, what was the black man that then? It wasn't no black man up there then. When Kamala was up there saying, yeah, I'm running for president, and then her vice president she won't is a white man. So I don't want to hear all of that. Oh, the black man is the black man there. I don't want to hear.
So with this Sandra Massey thing, there's been quite a few revelations that have come forward, and this is going to be a big investigation with this situation. Let's not focus on what happened. The officer that was involved in that, he had been dishonorably discharged from the Army. He had also been removed from 2 or 3 other policing positions, 2 with based on behavior, and others for reasons unknown, but he resigned. So he's been moved around 5 to 6 different departments and still landed within the Springfield Police Department. He shouldn't have been a police officer, period. The other thing is, they said that this woman had mental health related issues, and that the wife of that officer actually was her nurse, and there may have been some issues that happened between the wife and the woman, which is the reason why he was there. And so, like, this is going to be this. There's a lot being uncovered. I see a lot of this through social media, so there's no telling if all of this stuff is actual truth or not. There's some others that saying that at least a week or so prior, her nephew or something had gotten killed by the police as well. And it's a lot. There's a lot there. There's going to be, moving forward, some stuff that's going to be uncovered as it relates to this particular incident. But this probably was a targeted killing, though.
So that, DeAndre, thank you for sharing that, because that also reveals the access to people's information, the abuse of power that's allowed.
That's right.
It just shows how so I had this imagery. The people that have the most boundaries, the most challenges, the most barriers are governed by the people who have the least amount of boundaries, with the least amount of challenges, with the least amount of barriers. The
My
people with the
question
least amount of challenges and barriers have access to information, access to power, access to resources that they can use and manipulate to continue to invoke and provoke people who have the most amount of boundaries. This
let
is
me
an example of the abuse of power, the abuse of information, the abuse of access. How can somebody of that caliber or have these different type of challenges make it and be approved in any type of first responders position?
Right.
okay,
Because
so
if it was you or me, you would get rolled up and threw away instantly without even consideration. So that's what I'm
my
saying.
question is
These are the
why
things
is
we need to
why?
be talking about.
My question is why is
Not to
why?
mention, not to
Why?
mention, not to mention, they're also with the nurse. I know exactly what DeAndre is talking about. With the nurse, there is a petition going around for us to contact the hospital, and also there's a petition to have her license taken because of the violation of HIPAA. With her telling her husband
Yep,
is a
that's right.
violation
That's
of
against the law.
HIPAA. It
And
is
That's
that's
very
right.
much
something you
so
don't
against
need
the
a
law.
petition for. You don't
Right.
need a petition for that. Because once it's proven that her husband got some information from her, her license is gone. And then she can stand charges. Because as a nurse, and even if she accessed that woman's chart
Mm,
at
mm.
a time that she wasn't supposed to, she can be penalized for that as well. So
Correct.
her little pillow talk has probably definitely lost her license and might end up with some time in jail. But I also wanted to say to you, Dr. Orr, thank you for uplifting those points that you brought up. I really thank you for that. And that's all I have to say. I'm driving.
Let me go back to one
You
thing that
said
everybody, I guess the elephant in the room. Why the hell can the police come in your house and tell you to move something off your stove?
Yep,
Why would the hell did they come in your house and tell you to move something off your stove?
yep.
See, if it was a gun and they ain't gonna tell you to move the gun, they're gonna say leave it right there. Don't go near it. Why would the police tell you to remove something off your cooktop? I don't understand that. Why was that the first point of action? You need to remove
Right.
that water. And she
Right.
did it. I would have been like, man.
Well, again, no. Yeah. So if a person is struggling from mental health related issues, right, they're not going to be in the right mind or sound cognition to even think about what they're doing. They're just probably going to do what they're being asked to do, which she did. The issue there is they should not ask you to remove something like that.
Right. That's right.
He have just gone over and cut it off and put it in if it was that big a deal. If this was in fact murder, which I believe it was, he asked her to do that to give him rationale to do something to her.
Exactly.
That was it.
Exactly.
He was hoping that the justification. He was probably hoping that hopefully she gonna pull a knife out.
Right.
Hopefully she gonna and
Well,
it just turned to be
look at the young black man that was killed up in Lake in the Hills, or what was that, Carroll Streams, a few months ago. He was shot and killed laying in the bed. What was he dreaming that he was choking a white woman and they came in on him? The dude was they opened the door with keys they got from the maintenance man. Came in, the guy was in the bed sleeping, they shot him dead. As a matter of fact, he related to the Ellisons right around the corner. Matter of fact, they used to live around the corner here. So you tell me, what part of this mosaic where you saying people are doing things that they shouldn't be doing, being black, because you blacker than black, we all know that. You better hope it don't happen, bro, because you talking about what the white ain't gonna do, what they gonna do. It's been proven time and time again. What reality world do you live in?
Well, no. Don't get me wrong. No, don't get me wrong. He was 100% wrong. He had no business entering. She had made a phone call, and you could tell he already knew that she had mental issues because he called her crazy. And so he already knew that she had, he already knew that she had some issues. He wanted to come over there and screw with that lady. And also he had no business. He should have just told her, turn the fire off. Don't take the pot off. If you turn the fire off, it's all good. Don't tell her to take the pot off.
Mm.
And then you don't point at somebody with a gun and say, drop the pot. I'm not gonna drop this hot boiling water, you feel me? Like, but I seen videos where she actually put it down, and then if you look at the video again, his friend, the other officer, he was uneasy. He wasn't on that type of mode. He wasn't on that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And then another thing, hold on, one last thing, Steve. If the cop really thought he was in danger, why didn't he back up? He never.
Right.
If you got a hot pot of water, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna back up and then point my gun as I'm backing up. I'm not just gonna put my gun up. They knew they wasn't threatened. They knew they wasn't threatened.
Y'all know what's gonna be the test of this though, is how this shake out, how this play out.
Oh, well, yeah,
How was the verdict on all of this?
we know
You
how
know, and
he's
then
going down.
outside of the verdict, what will be the people's response to it? Because let's be
whatever
honest.
Kamala is.
Let's be honest. You got resources, influences, and sometimes and most times the right race or ethnicity. Things play out different ways. There's different justice systems for different cultures and different people. So how do we respond to this stuff? Because this is happening to us, but at the same time, we got a presidential election that's highlighting Black culture.
Can I talk about the conspiracy theory that's a part of this? So every 4 years around this time, there's always a very highly publicized Black death that happens around.
True.
Every time, it just seems like it fails. And the unfortunate is that it seems like it's possibly a part of the game plan. Fall for. I will say this: what we know will happen, because it continues to happen, is they will pay the fine. The other thing is that hopefully the woman is jailed, and the officer is jailed, but we need the wife.
Oh, okay.
The wife is jailed, and then the officer is jailed. But what we need to do is so this goes back to the importance of the district council and some of the things, if we are being as proactive as possible, that we're working on. So a couple things. We're working on decertification. In probably, because we do quarterly Know Your Rights, and this is going to be a future Know Your Rights, but I'm thinking February, we're going to bring a young man named Black guy that is going to talk about the decertification process and what it takes to remove officers from their positions. Once they have, so that is where the groundswell needs to come from. We need people to get behind us and promote removal of officers through the decertification process. So a guy's gonna come out, aiming for about a February date. That's gonna be our next Know Your Rights, so that folks can learn more about that. The other thing is we are pushing in district council. This is a partnership between myself and Angelica to look at having officers be more involved with taking mental aptitude tests, or however you want to call it. But we want to make sure that these officers have evaluations more steadily than they currently do. I think as of right now, they only get one when they start, but we want to have that going on an ongoing and continual basis.
Good idea.
As we start to build that out and see what that looks like, we're going to need people to support that as well. So I can say with confidence, at least those two things are things we're working on as district council. I don't know what else is going on across the country, but as a response, we know that they're going to pay the family. The officer, hopefully, and his wife are both going to be jailed. And I don't know where the activists and advocates are going to be as it relates to something happening. But the last thing I'll say is that we tried this with George Floyd. We tried to get the George Floyd Policing Act passed. One of the things we tried to dismantle is the Blue Code of Silence. as well as qualified immunity, which means that officers are not responsible for the death that they cause on shift. If Black people really wanted something to happen, we would push one of these candidates, does not matter who, to adopt something written that removes qualified immunity. If the officers had to put their insurance on the line and their job and their family's well-being on the line, they will probably think twice before killing a Black person. So we need to remove qualified immunity. We need to help with the code of silence. We need decertification in place, and we need yearly mental health evaluations. If those are not things that we're fighting for in the aftermath, then we're just going to continue to let this happen.
They need to do a polygraph test to make sure these some girls don't lie, because the lady literally said, "I'm sorry," and then he put 12 in her face when she said, "I'm sorry." And I'm sorry, and then he just started unloading in her face.
Well, I'll tell you this. There was an angle that I saw that looked as though she did toss the pot. And then you could see steam coming from like an area that was it was as if she was behind, and then she. Okay. So from the angle I saw,
So let me say that you seen what you seen.
Yeah.
So how come he didn't see that? Because what he said was she had a gun, and they reported. No, they reported back to 911 that she pulled a gun.
Oh, what he reported. Oh, yeah. He lied.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why would you lie if everything that you seen that he didn't see? All he had to do was say.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, I mean, they're gonna always. I mean, police are still doing nefarious things, though. But this is why we need decertification. If you're caught like that, lying, like we still got officers playing drugs on people. That's still happening today.
You heard that, Mosaic.
So we need to remove them. If that is something that you get caught up in, if you get caught fudging reports, if you get caught placing drugs on people, if you get caught just lying about how incidents happen to protect removal. It shouldn't be that's one of the, come on, doctors, police officers, lawyers, judges, all of these higher levels. I am an agent for people. Those positions demand the highest levels of integrity. If you can't uphold it, you should be removed, period.
Go ahead, Bertha, you got something for us?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, remember, Steve, when we went to that training, DeAndre and I, and we brought up some of these issues when we were over there off of Ogden somewhere at a training.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And we brought up some of these issues to the police, and they just shot us down. Some of these same things DeAndre is talking about now, we brought it up back then, and that was, 3 years ago?
More than that. It was back in 2020. 4 years ago, going on 5 years. That was 2020, because we were still wearing masks. We met with Regina. Regina was with us when we did that. But again, man, it's just funny how everybody has so many different point of views and perspectives. And all I'm saying is, Mosaic said that the white man is the boogeyman, but only older Black people think the white man is the boogeyman. And
older Black men, yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm scared of anything that ain't right. If it ain't right, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be very cautious and leery of it. Young Black people, old white people, young white people, white people. Call it what you want. You see how long you roll with it. How long you live without trying to have a little fear. The animals that have fear in them are the ones that survive. Not the ones standing there telling me, "Oh, what is that? Is that really a alligator? You did. Too late. Oh, what is that? Is that really a bear? Really? Okay. Just don't listen to them old Black people. You stand there and wait for that bear to get you. Let me know how it work out."
Also, in the South in the 40s and 50s, when all these white men come up with these white robes coming to your house to kill and bomb your house and kill your family, that's how they got the name Boogeyman. You know, you in your bed sleep and 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you see 10 white guys with sheets on their face and cross and guns waking you up out of your sleep. What is that but the boogeyman?
Yeah, that's fact. That's fact. That's
Call it
fact.
what you want, bro. But
And they still around. They just wearing suits. They not wearing sheets anymore. They still here.
Amen.
they getting their sheets cleaned over at C&D Cleaners, and they pillowcases too. For real, y'all. Hey, I'm just saying, we got a lot on the table, y'all, coming up with this DNC. We're gonna say it again. You know, I totally forgot about this trial this trial ain't gonna come that soon, DeAndre, with this lady that got shot in the face. But it's still on the. They were down, man. I saw Benjamin Crump and all of them. They were down on Washington and by Keeler.
There's a couple rallies.
They were down at New Mount Pilgrim. I drove by. I didn't realize what was going on until a few days later. But they already riling up and falling in order in Chicago. So you got that. You got the migrant situation here. You got the doggone Palestinian situation here. You got the Ukrainian situation here, because we got a big Ukrainian population, you know. We ain't even gonna talk about the Russians. We ain't even talk about them, because they on the opposite side of the spectrum with this. But
we got our own crime.
We got our own neighborhood situation.
We got our own crime.
You know?
Yeah, man, it's gonna be volatile. I was telling one of my neighbors, like, yeah, man, I just want to go down there. I say, man, stay from down there, man. You ain't gonna be nothing good, like. It ain't gonna be nothing good, right? Nobody wanna go to that shit show. That's all it's about to be, man.
Well,
that's all it's about to be. Them people gonna come in here, they're gonna bring one of our rappers, the singers, to get on stage, clown around for a little bit, sell us some dreams, and go back home. Chicago's gonna look as shitty as it did before they got here. They're gonna clean up that area though, but they're gonna leave.
They already talking about $10 billion over there.
I saw that. That's super dope. They're making a whole campus. You know what? I did the architectural tour the other day. Yeah, they're making it. Yeah, they
that ain't gonna. You do know that ain't gonna be re-gentrification. You do know that.
Oh man, when they took us from Cabrini Green, they already had their design for that stuff.
But you do know the people that are there are not. They're not gonna let them
they
stay
gonna move them out. Shit, y'all can go on about y'all way. Yeah. All right, hey man. Well. Shit, we gotta get your money. We gotta get our things together. Get our affairs in order, black folks, because they don't.
It's so funny how downtown used to. You know what downtown used to be when I was a kid? It started at the Loop. It literally started at the Loop, which is like Canal Street, you know, and then it went towards the lake. Now downtown is on the west side.
On the west side.
Yeah, it's starting at Western pretty much. From what you just said, it's gonna definitely be there.
That's true. That's true. True.
Man, Ashland and Halsted and all of that, that was horrible.
Yeah.
We just did the architectural tour the other day, and they pointed out where they're going to do the 78. And I thought that was an amazing concept. So Chicago has 77 communities, right?
Right.
They're making a 78. So they take it, I think, and that's a $3 billion.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
They're making a whole new community in Chicago. And I'm just like, bro.
It ain't FUBU.
I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
It ain't FUBU.
I said they can make like you could just make a whole new community.
What about the Lincoln Yards? Lincoln Yards is gonna be a whole new community.
It is as well, yep. It is as well. But I think that's gonna be a larger part of like that Streeterville, not Streeterville, that's a little too far in there.
But again, it ain't gonna be FUBU. It ain't gonna be for us by us.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be for us to bring us. It ain't gonna be for us to blight. Well, it will be to blight us,
But I mean, let's be honest though, the west side is the best side. Like we well positioned. West side and south side are very well positioned to take advantage, right? Like the unfortunate is that these are very underdeveloped communities, but 20 minutes this way to the west, I got all the western suburbs.
Yeah,
I got all of them. Like
all
I can connect to all the good ones. 20 minutes.
Oh, and we got the best airport. Got the best
That's what
airport.
I'm saying. 20 and that's a 25-minute drive from here.
The only thing we don't have at the south side is gas. We don't have a lakefront. And we don't have a museum campus.
Yeah, we don't care about all of that.
We don't have
we're positioned
25 minutes to the lake.
Right.
To
We
the
go
lake.
right
Yeah, but
there.
they could walk to the lake though.
Man, that ain't
Yeah,
but
that makes a difference, man. People kill for Lake Point views.
yeah,
bro.
that's a fact.
They do.
That's a fact. But what I'm saying in that the positionality of our community is great enough that we can take advantage of both of those and all of those things to the north of us, south
I
of
don't
us.
know, not DeAndre. If I had to live in Chicago the rest of my life, and I could live on the lake, near the lake, and have a boat, and have a nice little place down there with Magnificent Mile and State Street and Streeterville, and I'm doing it. Because I ain't got to deal with seeing all this crazy.
Yeah. But I'm looking at it from a standpoint if we could get our community to be developed enough to where we can enjoy it, and then go taking those views. I agree. Like that's where I'm coming from.
No, but I'm saying, would you rather live that year in, year out? Because I had this challenge with my wife once. We went to New York, and I said, man, I don't know if I could do New York forever. I said, but I'll take it for a year. I guarantee you we'll go to a different restaurant every day and eat.
That's a fact, though.
They got over 7,000 restaurants in the burger, right there. I said, but I don't know after a year we have to get up. But I think I could live downtown.
Right.
Because there's unlimited things to do.
Well, I challenge myself to be in a position to where I can live between two states. I want to live in Dallas in the winter, and I want to live in Chicago in the summer. That's what I want to do.
I want to live in Chicago winter and summer and have an option to go all over the world whenever I want to.
Oh yeah.
Because Chicago winters was the bomb, dude. We got the best Christmas things going on downtown and everywhere.
That's a fact, though. That is true. We
got some good stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying, if the South, the lake ain't just the north side. People used to think the lake was just the north side. The lake is the south side too, but people been sleeping on it. They sleeping on it. We've been sleeping on it, and others ain't.
Yeah.
And they about to come and get it. Trust.
Well, they building on it. That's where the 78 and Lincoln Yards are both located, right on the river.
Yep.
So now they know, they see it. I'm just looking at it for where we are positioned currently, where the most of us exist, to where we can take advantage of it. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, once that comes, we can't afford any of that. At present, we're not going to be down there. It's going to be a handful of us, but that's it. And you're not going to be really accepted either.
Well, that's the downside. Being accepted, but as Mosaic said, we gotta stop thinking the white man, the boogeyman.
You gotta think about it though. But you gotta think about it. It's a sector of the black community that we can't be in big groups. Look what they did when all of them young blacks went downtown. I'm talking about young blacks, and I'm pretty sure some of them little black kids that went downtown, some of y'all little nieces and nephews up on this line, and I know it is. And if I find out, I will be telling on you. But let me tell you this: we black people, we don't deserve nothing because we tear stuff up. We tear shit up. We can't have nothing nice. I remember on 315 North Lotus, that building was brand new. When my family lived in there, it only took about 2 months for it to look like the Carter. We tore that goddamn building up. We got handprints on the wall. We hanging out on a corner. We selling fentanyl and everything. Black people don't deserve nothing.
Oh, man.
And y'all know it's true. Y'all know it's true. We are a degenerate culture. Some of us is nice.
Maybe it was just your family.
Oh, it was a lot of families, Steve. And it was some of the people's families and cousins on this line.
I don't know nobody like that, bro.
You ain't plugged into the city like that. That's why. If you don't know nobody like that, you not really plugged, Steve.
No, I'm saying family-wise.
What, you talking about your family?
I'm just saying.
So, Mosaic, when you say black people, what do you mean? You talking about all black people or just the black people that live in the building?
You from Chicago?
I'm from Maywood.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm talking about you, your cousins, them. Yeah, yep.
You know what I think? I think that we as a people, we do struggle so much because we hate ourselves and each other. And that is the master plan and mastermind of our oppressors. And we demonstrate that when we can't find anything good about ourselves or each other. That's reflective in our families, in our homes, in our children, in everything. But what I do love about us is that despite this type of teaching and propaganda being imposed and infused and injected in and laid upon us, even until this day, we are still the magic people that supply the wealth and economy of this world. So, yep,
That ain't magic. That's just being a fool.
Just like every other race and culture, there are some things that we need to improve. The difference is that we don't necessarily control any systems, any money, any propaganda, any books, any newsletters. We control very little. So the stuff we see and hear, of course, if they want us to feel a certain way about each other, that's what they promote for us. Of course, if they want us to feel and think a certain way and hate each other and hate ourselves, of course, that's what they're going to tell us, that we can't trust each other. We're not safe around each other. We tear up everything. And that's what we start repeating. But again, we have a choice. And I will say that we have a choice, and we know what's happening to us. So at some point, we also have power to say, I understand. This is how I've been feeling. This is what I've been seeing. But I challenge myself, me personally, I challenge myself to see and know and think something different about me and my people, because no matter what, if I could get this skin white, I can't. I live in this skin every single day. My mama lived in this skin. My daddy, my grandmama live in this skin. Yep, I got some cousins that good God Almighty. But I also got some cousins that good God Almighty, ain't they dynamite? So if we're going to see both sides, we're going to see ourselves, let's see all sides, not just the negative. If we're going to uplift our people, find a way to say something to help us think differently about our current situation and who we are. Because if we continue to promote and evoke and speak words out of our mouths that degrade us, that's what comes to our people. Now, I don't subscribe to it, so I don't receive that type of language or conversation or vibrations. But I'm just encouraging us to understand that it's by design. It's by design. And unless we're going to address the design, address how the design has impacted our people, then we should reconsider how we talking and vibrating and what we speaking over our people. That's just my perspective. I respect everybody's opinion, but if we gonna lift us up, lift us up. It might be a hard pull. The wagon might even be heavy, but let's pull together.
Hey, I'm still stuck on my white neighbor telling me I can't have an RPG rocket launcher strapped on my arm, but he can have an AR. He said those are the afforded liberties that we should have as Americans, to carry what do you call them? A firearm. A firearm. And wow. I said, RPG is a firearm, but you can't have that, Steve. You could blow up groups of people, really. But you could have an AR and shoot groups of people.
That's not a firearm, Steve. That's a weapon of mass destruction. That's not considered a firearm.
I don't care.
Yeah, but no, you dead. Firearm when it's not a firearm.
It is. It is a firearm. It has a trigger. It has a barrel. It has a projectile. What's the difference?
The difference is that's an explosive. That's a rocket. That's an explosive. It's different from a handgun.
Bullets explode. Bullets explode.
Some bullets explode. Hollow tips explode. Ball heads don't explode.
Potato. They're all designed to kill human beings.
And this is why blacks vote the same.
bruh. I'm saying that you gonna want it. You want your rights. I want my rights too. So when does it end and when does it begin? That's all I'm saying. You can't sit there and talk about how your rights are more important than my rights. And that's what we ended our conversation. We fist bumped, and I said at the end of the day, all I care is that if I'm afforded liberties and rights, long as you don't step on mine, I will not step on yours. I don't think anybody's rights and liberties should be taken from them by another person just because they feel that that's the way they feel. It's just not right. Which is the next thing I wanted to tell y'all about P-Ray. That situation that happened with P-Ray last week, because I was at the police station, I was called down there for the DNC plan, and I found out that, let me make sure I got this right, y'all, that there was, I'm just gonna leave it like this. There was a gun pull and somebody got shot from that situation.
Wow.
And but they did not die, from what the commander said, and didn't sound like it was a severe injury from what I was led to believe. But I'm almost under the belief, and I'm gonna verify this, that the person that had the gun was the Republican people that came over there to march. Yeah, you got the right to choose who you want for campaigns and political positions. You have the right to say what you want within the means, within certain means. You have the right to think the way you want. You have the right to bear arms. But why you come to the black neighborhood with all that bullshit, and then you shoot somebody because you're scared? That's crazy. I don't get it. I don't get it. But this is where we at in our world, you know? I'll never forget Princess asked the guy. He said, wait a minute, did I detect an accent? She goes, yes, I'm from Ecuador. And she goes, but again, why are you here on that side in the black community? Why are you here? Because the Venezuelans are taking our jobs. She said, wait a minute. Did you not just tell me you come from the same continent that this man comes from? And you're complaining about him, the Venezuelans, when you ain't even from here? She said, that was one of them, what was that movie, man? With Spike Lee, when the guy came to Brooklyn, yeah. He's like, oh, I got a brownstone here too. And they were
do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Yeah, do the right thing. Yeah. This is what we do as Americans, man. We have such diametrically cold positions on so many things that, hey, I guess that's what it is to be American. And hey, this is the thing that everybody's sleeping on with Mr. Do nothing, know nothing Trump. He keeps talking about she's a black woman. She was considered a black woman, but now she's Asian. He's the dude that started the whole Asian hate garbage. Remember? Don't want anybody from those countries coming here and we blocking them. Now he ain't dwelling on the Asian part of her. He's dwelling on the black part of her. Go figure. I don't know what to say about this thing, man. Other than he been raining this garbage since Obama got in. He got mad that Obama called him the orange jack-o'-lantern or something, the orange pumpkin. He got mad and I'm gonna run against you because you made people laugh at me. And he just won't stay out of the way. Since all that burst of garbage he's just a starter. He's a shit starter. He's been shit starter. Man, those kind of people, when I was in grade school, I used to beat the shit out of them. I used to just punch them right in their throat. It's like, stop bothering people before you get bothered. Hey, y'all, we had good conversation.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I hate Mosaic. He didn't even know who he was talking to when he was talking to you out here, but hey, we live, we learn, we live, I hope.
I ain't know Raheem was on. Hey, Raheem.
Hey, what's up, good people?
But you know
We got
good.
Raheem, we got Tamika, we got Ella.
We got all the doctors on today. Dr. O, Dr.
Hey,
John, Dr.
we
Dre.
got Kenona. I can't read. My eyes.
All the we got Dr.
Yana,
Corey now. We got 5 PhDs on here today.
Anthony,
Hey, yes, we do.
Chanel, Bertha,
Right.
Bertha. Hey,
We got Bertha on.
Raheem.
Yes, indeed, God. Hey,
I didn't even look at nobody.
yeah, let's go around, y'all. Let's go opinions on what y'all got to say at the end of the show. How about you, Dr. O?
Hey, I love the conversation. I am just ready for it's. I feel like old school. It's always time for some action. Time for some action. I just can't wait until we can come together and act and do something, make a change, have some type of social impact. That's my thing. Let's keep pushing forward, guys.
Right. We just got to figure out who's on first, who's the lead. Once we figure out who the lead is, then we can
True.
How about you, Bertha? What you got for us?
I would just like to see that, you can complain about what's not going right, but be a mentor to some of these children. Help bring these children in off the street. Encourage them to go to programs, because all these kids don't want to be on the street. They just need somebody to hug them and to love them and to encourage them. We can't keep beating people down and expect them to do better. We have to do better with our kids that's coming up. That's what I got.
I feel you. How about you? Who's Dylan? You got anything in conclusion, Dylan? No. Anthony Bingham, what you got for us in conclusion?
Okay, here I am on the mic. Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to say the last three ladies that spoke and it was telling us what we have to do as a people is to come together. Nobody's going to give us anything. So once we realize that and come together and teach our children and teach us, and we try to do the best we can, we're not going anywhere. So that we need to keep in mind and try to do better with. Thank you.
Gotcha. What you say there, Barry Corn?
Barry on, I ain't see Barry.
Hey.
Corn.
Hey, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hey, Barry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Dr. Orr and I think Bertha just was talking about the same thing and Anthony just mentioned lifting each other. There's a word for it it's called peace breath. And it's everywhere. We just need to throw more light on all the life-affirming stuff that goes on all around us. And as far as action, we don't have to make any big decisions. You think something needs to be improved? Do it. And if you have 1 or 2 or 3 people who agree with you, do it as a group. Do it any way you want. Just do it.
Hey.
Do it any way you want. Hey,
yep.
Chanel, what do you have to say, Chanel? In conclusion, Chanel. All right. How about you, Ella? What you have to say in conclusion?
As a people, I think our self-esteem is kind of down. We don't know really how valuable we are to this world and this society. Yeah. And it brought to mind back in 1964, Jesse Jackson had promoted boycotting. I think it was the gas stations or something. And we turned out in really big numbers. And it had an effect. I can't remember everything since it's been so long ago, but it did have an effect on us, and it showed that we are worthy. We
Yeah.
have value in this society, but we just don't know it. So
Yeah.
that's
Right.
all.
That's it.
Yeah.
Kiana, let's say in conclusion.
Hey y'all. I definitely agree with what the last speaker spoke. I do believe that we have been pushed down so much that we think that we're less than, and we just
Yeah.
have to really find a way to lift each other up, to know, to help each other to know that we are all deemed really important. And if we
Yeah.
were not important, they would not be trying to appeal to us when it comes to propaganda. They would not be trying to appeal to us as much. So yeah, I really do like the dialogue, and I do think we just need to keep it going.
Yeah, and I think we need to find out a little bit more about what's going on in Texas. I swear that I'm trying to get young lady down in, where's she from? What did I tell you? Austin, Texas, with the radio station. I'm trying to get her back on. Matter of fact, Ms. Jacob knows her very well too. So hopefully we get her on next week. I'm gonna call her during the week and tell her make sure she come on.
You got to come down here and visit, Steve.
I know. I only been to Texas. Texas is just too hot. Well, it ain't as hot as Alabama, so I can't complain. You're right. For sure. We on the golf. Everybody on the golf somewhere, somehow. Dr. Raheem, anything in conclusion?
Yeah, great show, fellas. I agree with everybody's sentiments. We need to come together. Let's work together better. So, yeah, that's all.
Right. Tamika, what you got to say in conclusion?
Hello. I agree with Dr. Orr about everybody have a right to their opinion, but even though we don't agree, we can still try to communicate with each other and make the best of what's going on. I mean, it's a trying situation. That's all I have to say.
Talking about that background you got right there. Put it back up there. Get back on there. Yeah, just look at this background. Yeah, you wouldn't want to live down there, jump with your boat right out your apartment or whatever you got down there. Walking like you talk. I mean,
I feel safer walking on.
Because you say that's where the crime is gone, huh? Crime is gone down there.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you get conditioned to these communities, you feel safer down there.
Yeah, you do, but it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion, Hey, I'm just going to say I appreciate everybody that came on today. We had a very good conversation, and hopefully we will be trying to finalize our birthday for the show this month, because we did start 3 years ago, going on our 4th year, and we want to make sure we amplify and improve. So we want all types of comments that from y'all that y'all think we can do to improve and increase numbers and all of that good stuff. So please let me know what that will be. You know how to contact me, and we're gonna push it over to Dr. Dre.
So I wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to this young lady who she put together a block club event for the first time in a long time on the block of 30. Basically off of Washington and Menard. So I stopped by. That's where I was at before I started the show.
Okay.
And she was telling me how difficult it was, how much of a heavy lift, because she's really just trying to reactivate a block club, and none of the cars were moved off the block and all of this other stuff. So I was just giving her some encouragement about, continually going, and if this is the space she want to operate in the community, she has me as the person that she can reach out to. And she really needed that, because she was like, man, I feel so stupid. I'm like, for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is amazing. You got a bounce house, you got food, you got a DJ, folks out here kicking it. The kids got back to school supplies. Like, what are you talking about? But she really was saying that, you want to do that. So I definitely want to give a shout out to her for even just jumping in them waters, because it's really hard to love on people that don't love on themselves. And that's what you do in the community. Her name is Salima Muhammad.
Where's she located?
On that block. She has it on the flyer at 34 North Menard. So right directly behind the police station, or at least is that on the same side? Yeah, I think it's the same side of the police station.
Okay.
But yeah. So I wanted to.
That's a nice block.
Oh, very nice block. Oh yeah.
Man, you know they got apartment buildings over there with 2 bathrooms,
Yeah.
4 bedrooms,
Very nice block. Very nice.
long apartment buildings, big nice ones.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is, so it was interesting that you all are talking about, I feel like a lot of this conversation revolves around mindset, if you will. So I just actually am in the process of completing my first chapter for my book that I'm writing. First chapter is focused on the ABCs of you, is what I call it. So that's affect, behavior, and character. Affect being emotion, behavior being actions, and then characters being traits. And that explains how people develop tendencies. And so I think it's important that I utilize a lot of these psychological principles that I've learned to try to educate folks. I don't know if anybody's gonna read it. Don't matter to me, but I'm gonna put it out there because
we're gonna do that book fair now. Don't forget. In November we're doing the book fair for all comers that have books that they have written.
Yeah, well, look, I'll be the signing book, so that book will be ready. First chapter is in the process of being wrapped. So I'll be definitely I'm probably gonna be taking some of these Sundays off too, so I can just sit at home and get that done. But and we'll be talking about.
And we're doing the art fair too.
Okay,
in October.
Yeah.
From Antonia Rupert, she's gonna have a community celebration. For her art stuff here.
That's dope. Other than that, yeah, when those things drop, y'all please come be involved in that stuff. And then that's it for me. So that said, y'all know how we do between the hours of 6 and 8. We bring you Northwest Austin Council. We have various ways to interact with the show. We got the Facebook, the YouTube, or the Zoom. Really up to you how you. Huh?
Hey, I was trying to make one announcement.
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
Hey, of course, we're talking about civics and voter engagement and education and engagement in this session. We are doing a civics and voter engagement session on the 20th of August. We want to get the word out because we want to make sure that as we invite public officials to participate, that we also have residents and citizens there too to participate in this and ask genuine questions. So that exactly what DeAndre said, that we be more knowledgeable about the process and we can work together and come up with some real viable solutions for our communities. So we do that in partnership with all of our partners. So if you want to collaborate, just reach out. Everyone's welcome.
Sounds like a solid idea.
Yes, sir. So yeah, if you're on the Facebook or the YouTube, you can always type in the comment section. We see it. We bring you in the show that way. Otherwise, if you're on the Zoom, you just come right off mute, speak your speed, keep it respectful. We got a little heated today, but sometimes it goes that way. But I think sometimes that helps with conversation. Sometimes it doesn't. So if it doesn't, we're gonna have to mute you. Otherwise, just continue to share the show. Let's see it grow. Like Steve said, going into year 4 of this thing, and we're just trying to make sure that people are well informed about what's going on around. Bring us some resources. Bring them some quality conversation while they ain't doing nothing but folding their clothes or eating their food. Otherwise, y'all know what I like to say in closing. We got plenty of seats at the table. We're just trying to welcome y'all on home. Thank y'all for allowing us to welcome you to Northwest Austin Council. Y'all have a good night.
Later, y'all.
Good night. Good night.
All right, peace.
Good night.
Good night.